100 gram.
Feeling so tall, I could give a high five to the pilot. Yeah, family tight, I keep small circle like island. Whoa, inbox full of contracts, I signed with a stylist. Yeah, blue faces blowing up like violet. Talk about the things they're gonna say when they see me, and when they see me, they just dap me up and say good to meet me. I keep it going, flowing over this and make it look easy. Easy for me to say I do this every day of the week. I'm eager to be the one they talk about when all said and done with it. I'm the feature that they want, but then they don't when I come with it. I'm a scene, still a seat, filler, blow up the numbers, and I ain't leaving no crumbs, so you know when I'm done with it. I'm a new school vibe with an old soul, oh so great. Stay paid by the boatload, don't go chasing a wave from a rowboat. Blow smoke right through the face of the ozone. Oh no, I got the bag, I'm back to just double it. I'm about to pop the top, I've been bubbling. They want the spot, but I do not cut them in. They tryna plot my drop, they been huddling. Feeling so tall, I could give a high five to the pilot. Yeah, family tight, I keep small circle like island. Whoa, inbox full of contracts, I signed with a stylist. Yeah, blue faces blowing up like violet.
I know a lot of people praying for my downfall, but the only thing that I'll be down for is being top 5, but like down 4. I'm down to earth like the ground floor, but I've been flying so long, I tend to ask people, what's the ground for? Man,
Yo!
I only hit it up, see my flow volcanic, this the fire I erupt.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up?
Haven't had enough. You know I'm running the city, you just running out of luck. Yeah, I say that with my chest, I flow hard, it's no wonder they easily impressed. I'm so far, but I'm always coming back with something fresh. I never rest, where you'll never catch this ego in a nest. I invest my time in a booth, I find a piece. I used to piece the boom in my mind. My ex knows this. Let me
What do you got to say?
Cause she don't wanna be with an explosive man. I'm just
Feeling so tall, I could give a high five to the pilot. Yeah, family tight, I keep small circle like island.
Right.
Whoa, inbox full of contracts, I signed with a stylist. Yeah, blue faces blowing up like violet.
What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? What the fuck is up? Tell Phineas J to upload the VODs on my knees. I'll do it right now. I will literally tell him right now. Why is the VOD not up? I actually really want it to be up. Phineas J. Yo. Can you upload the Marketing Monday VOD? There. It's called management, all right? Get it done. Huge fails for Watsy. What is the new fail? Wizard of the Coast releases a new statement in ongoing D&D. I haven't seen this, so actually, this is not part of my fails. Let's look at it right now. Before we begin wins and fails, let's look at what's going on with Wizards of the Coast. Release new statement in ongoing D&D OGL controversy. That's their open game license. Wizards will work with fans and content creators to create a new open game license, the key legal document at the center of the controversy, in the same way that handles. Okay. Let's see. The D&D world's on fire right now, and Wizards of the Coast can only blame itself. They're in the middle of a massive sea change thanks to the one D&D. In recent weeks, D&D brand owner Wizards of the Coast has done nearly all it can to incense and repulse the players and partners that support it. So I guess they were just trying to take a revenue cut of everyone playing D&D or what? Like of D&D content? For most of D&D's history, third-party companies have been allowed to create modules, monsters, and other unofficial content without paying Wizards a licensing fee. However, when outlets like Comic Book reached out to Wizards in response to these rumors, okay, so that's what they're trying to change. Got it. They're turning a game that has been open since the 70s into a closed... Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And they originally planned to release it without getting any feedback. Got it. Charlie had a good video on it. Let's watch a Charlie video. I would love to see Charlie explain it. Link me. I really haven't kept up with... The first thing I heard about was the Magic stuff. Obviously, they've been shitty in the world of Magic. They released the $1,000 Magic pack that had unplayable, like, basically useless cards. And then they've been churning out a rapid rate of stuff to kind of like milk the consumer. But that's all I knew. I don't know about the D&D stuff. The Charlie video. Let's see.
There's something very
Most
special
delusional company ever. Most delusional company ever. Let's see.
about the way entertainment companies are run. It feels like the people at the highest level are just these soulless husks in suits that don't even understand what fun is. I honestly wouldn't be shocked to learn that half the CEOs of major entertainment brands have been lobotomized. Who remembers a couple of years ago when EA tried to convince the world that their loot boxes aren't a greedy cash grab meant to squeeze as many doubloons out of their customers as possible? They were actually surprise mechanics meant to be fun.
That was heroic of EA. Thank God for those heroes. Because you know what? The government was thinking about taking away our loot boxes, our God-given right to be milked, nickel and dimed by every game. And if I swear to God, if Joe Biden's hands touch my loot boxes, I'm gonna freak out, dude. Those are my keys. Those are my loot boxes. Thank God EA pulled a gambit to keep them around.
No, this isn't shady or unethical. They're fun surprise mechanics. Point I'm making is there's no shortage of delusional companies in the entertainment space.
Sure.
And now I think we have a winner for the most delusional company out there at the moment. Wizards of the Coast / Hasbro. I'm going to put them together because it's still not super clear to me.
Sorry, this reminds me of, what was the company? Oh, God. So there's this list that shows the most hated companies in gaming. It's like a survey every year. And EA won it like 10 years straight. And then one year, recently, someone did something so bad that EA got knocked off of it. It was Blizzard. Oh, it was Blizzard. Yeah, I'm sorry, Blizzard. Yeah. Yeah. We talked about this. Yeah. I think this was a wins and fails a while ago. Yeah, Blizzard fucking harassed their employees so badly that they actually fucking... EA was the only winner. Yeah, I remember. That's what I did. I put it as a win for EA that Blizzard was doing this because they're finally not the... Okay, I was forgetting. There.
Who's the one at that?
So now here, it's the same thing. EA is getting their attention pushed aside by WotC.
Hell, making these bafflingly awful decisions that are sinking their companies. So, Wizards of the Coast is responsible for a lot of things that you probably love.
Yeah.
For example, me, Magic cards. While I'm not a huge Magic the Gathering player, like actively competing in like MTG Arena or anything like that, I did get very into collecting the cards. In fact, throughout all of 2016,
I'm literally the opposite. I literally collect 0 cards. I have bought quite a number of packs and never keep the cards. I always just play with them and I leave them there where whoever I'm playing with can keep them. I don't care about the cards at all, but I do play on Arena and I do grind. I like drafting and I like trying to win. But I don't think I'll ever like resell the cards, so I don't keep them.
I spent it trying to collect every masterpiece from the Kaladesh set. And I do have that finished, as well as Amonkhet as well. So I was a big collector of Magic the Gathering and a big fan of the property. So you can imagine...
Drafting is fun as fuck. That's the thing, is I feel like drafting is one of the most economical ways to play. It doesn't cost too much. You get a good amount of fun for your buck. The only problem is they've been like shoveling out sets. It feels like you barely get to breathe the new set, and they got like fucking 5-6 sets a year now. It's just like you can't even. Is that bad? It's not terrible if you're only a player like me, but I think for the average person, my understanding is that it's getting a little exhausting. Like it's hard to get excited about a new set because they're just putting a little bit of time making it, turning out a new one. So it doesn't feel like special anymore. Like, and it used to feel more special. And I feel, I've played Magic for a decent amount of time. I've been off and on, but I remember it feeling more special.
Imagine my surprise and disgust when I learned that last month Wizards of the Coast pulled down its pants and planted their stinky ass in the face of every Magic the Gathering fan.
I didn't want to interrupt Charlie when he's talking about asses or dicks or, a classic Charlie-ism. I agree. They put their stinky ass in everyone's face. I'm trying to skip because I think this is probably every problem. I want to see the D&D problems. Is this right here? This is right here. It's perfect.
Brands ever.
This part was just, they released a $1,000 pack that was like worthless. That one doesn't actually make me so mad because you just don't have to buy it. I mean, it's just a sign of a company being really greedy. But like individually, you can be like, okay, I'm just not gonna buy it. You know, because it's $1,000 pack and it's stupid. It's like, all right, well, you should just not have done that. But it doesn't truly affect my day to day. But I would love to see what they're doing with D&D.
Dragons is something I'm sure everyone's heard of. Even if you don't play it, even if you joke about it, you call everyone a turbo nerd who plays it, doesn't matter, you've heard of it. It's an extremely recognizable name, and now Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro are using it like a cum rag. They have just potentially ruined what made Dungeons and Dragons such a massive success. There's another great video going over this topic in detail, so I highly recommend checking this one out if you're curious as well. The links to both of these videos will be in the description. I just want to hit on the broad topic here and go over everything. So, Wizards of the Coast is targeting Dungeons and Dragons because they believe it is under-monetized.
Love that.
Which is, of course, scary for the communities that love these games. I've only done one full Dungeons and Dragons campaign, and I had a great time.
I love when any of my hobbies, there's a big corporation that thinks it's under-monetized. Like, that's giving me, I get torqued, dude. The idea that I could somehow give a corporation more money during my hobbies is fucking awesome. That's what I look forward to. Sometimes I feel like, this is going to sound crazy, but so this morning I went on a nice little walk with my wife and our dog. You know, it was a nice sunny day. We took a walk, went to a cafe, and hung out in the park. And I was like, wow, this feels under-monetized. Like, no, we didn't, like, nobody profited off us. This is crazy. It's just like, what are we doing? What a fucking... So I'm thinking of maybe charging her a bill or the dog a bill. I'm trying to figure something out, dude, because the whole thing feels weird. It's like there's no corporation involved. Like, isn't there someone we forgot to ask? And it's a corporation. It's just me and Ari, but where's the third big business? Wait, one second. Oh yeah. So yeah,
I'm doing it.
kudos to them, huh?
Don't really want to talk about the GM behind the game. That was a whole can of worms that, you know, we don't need to get into the weeds of.
Who is the GM of Charlie's Game? Why is that a can of worms? People are Pepe laughing. Arcadum? I don't actually know. He was disgraced. Okay. Fucked up, weird Discord kitten guy. Say no more. Hey, say no more. That's all I need to know.
But the game itself, I really loved it, and I definitely understand people's passion for it. So the community's outrage here is warranted 100% because their idea completely shuts down pretty much everything that made this game so popular. So let me go ahead and put a bib on you as I feed you these vegetables.
Please.
Hasbro's not doing so hot financially. They dropped 40% last year, and they've had to cancel quite a few projects. And they started to realize, well, Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro started to realize that Dungeons and Dragons, being their biggest IP, isn't super well monetized when you look at the actual, you know, nitty-gritty of it. It's estimated that Dungeons and Dragons has pulled in about 1.3 billion. However, they've only seen around 100 to 150 million in revenue from D&D. So they're leaving a lot of money on the table, and they're doing everything they can to get their hands on those extra schmeckles that they're not currently putting in their pocket. So they started turning their attention towards the community and speculating on how could they monetize that sector, because that's by far where most of the money is being generated. Something like Critical Role, which is the biggest stream on Twitch when it comes to the amount of money that it's bringing in, like subs and all of that. Critical Role is a third-party Dungeons and Dragons production.
Bro, they've been crushing. When I worked at Twitch, it was now pretty much a while ago. They were the #1 highest earning channel, and it wasn't close. They have so many dedicated subs.
Production that is their own custom experience and campaign that is so big that it even got its own Amazon Prime show. So there's a lot more like Critical Role, but they're by far the biggest. It's very much so that Dungeons and Dragons has the most success because of their open game license.
And who better to monetize than the people who create their own content better than them? This takes us to the open game license. For those who don't know, any Dungeons and Dragons content that is created by anyone other than Wizards can only do so because of the open game license, a document that effectively allows people to create and profit off of their own original Dungeons and Dragons content.
Great.
No paperwork needed, no need to pay anyone royalties.
Great.
Just go for it.
I would argue that the open game license with Dungeons and Dragons is solely responsible for its massive explosion over the last decade, because this Dungeons and Dragons content, the homebrew, all of these custom campaigns, have been a massive success online. And now you can take that old open game license and shove it right up your ass, because it is worthless now. According to new information, as well as, again, some unconfirmed leaks, but there is a lot of meat behind the authenticity of it. There's a lot of things that suggest that this is accurate, and I'll get into that in a moment. According to these upcoming changes, all of that is obsolete. So 3 things that you're immediately going to have to do is you're going to have to agree to these new terms that are coming out. You're going to need a badge on your work, and you're going to need to report everything that you're selling using the Dungeons and Dragons property, as well as report all of your earnings, like 50 grand plus, stuff like that.
Bro, they're just going to make something similar. The community's going to collectively make fucking gargoyles and ghouls or something. You know what I'm saying? They're just going to make a different version of the same kind of rules, and then no one's going to use D&D anymore. The only reason they're using it now is because it's a good fucking baseline that's free to use. Gargoyles and Grinches. Cringy and Crongemas. Yeah, I'll make one right now. Yeah, Gallows and Gargoyles sounds cooler anyway. They're just what D or Hasbro should do is like try to fucking make it as free as possible, support everybody, make the thing grow so the D&D brand gets bigger, then release the fucking movie they got coming out. They don't want this. Why are they having this PR right as they release the goddamn movie? They have a D&D movie coming out with Chris Pine in like a week. When is that movie coming out? D&D movie. Honor Among Thieves. When does that come out? Honor Among Thieves release date. March. Comes out in March. Fucking look at this. D&D fans call for boycott of Honor Among Thieves movie. This is the fucking PR you want. D&D's already pretty fucking nerdy, bro. If you have the fans not wanting to see it, you're fucked. How is this fucking movie gonna do? What a dumb fucking company. Holy moly.
Like that. But that's not the worst of it at all. That's
if they really wanted to get, you know what they can do? This is actually a really good. I'm gonna give free fucking marketing PR advice. All right. If you're Hasbro, okay, and you've just made a big stinky shit all over your community, everyone's pissed at you. Here's what you do. All right. You calm everybody down. You have a live stream. You have your CEO sit down and say, hey, we hear you, we understand. Instead of the new open game license, we are going to release a series of Dungeons and Dragons NFTs and a new token called D&D Coin that you can get into right now to monetize your own personal campaigns at home. Gamers love that shit, okay? Gamers love that shit. If you want to get all the gamers back on your side, you tell them about how you got NFTs, you tell them you got crypto, and you get them all back in. They'll forgive everything. Hasbro, let's talk, dude.
Small potatoes compared to the bigger changes. So one major thing that is now 100% going into effect, as I understand it, is if any of these custom campaigns are making above $750,000 in a year, they are now going to be subject to royalties that will need to be paid to Wizards of the Coast. Now, you might be hearing that number and being like, wow, that's a lot. That sounds reasonable. These are major players like Critical Role. I mean,
Critical Role's just not going to fucking do it, bro. They're not going to pay royalties to Hasbro. They have a beloved relationship with their fans. They can find a different tweak on the game to play. They're just not going to do it. It's just a dumb idea. That's why it's dumb. It's so basic that Hasbro's looking at this money like, ooh, that money should be our money, but no one's gonna give it to you.
They should be paying royalties. And you can debate that all night and day till the cows come home, that's fine. But it only gets more brutal from there and more suffocating. So it's not only just targeting the major big boys, it's kind of targeting everything, at least according to the leaks. And mind you, this seems to be applied retroactively, so anything that existed on the old open game license is now obsolete. That whole agreement is unauthorized.
Yesterday, January 4th, a journalist named Linda Codega stated that she received the new OGL from a reputable, unnamed source.
Ooh.
You will owe 25% on any money that you make that exceeds $750K. The leak also says that if you release on Kickstarter, you
25%?
only have to pay 20%. Which sounds strange, but the director of games at Kickstarter, John Ritter, retweeted the thread with the leak and said that Kickstarter was contacted after Wizards decided to make OGL changes.
So this is where the information's coming from. This is where the leak all started. Now, I think there is a lot of merit behind this being a very real possibility, considering...
Just make 749K Omega lol. What a useless statement. No, for real. For real. No, that would work. Oh, he's got a point. Holy shit. Let him cook, dude. Yeah. No, all right. Let's just, if you're Critical Role, just stop broadcasting. The second you get 749K, just make sure close subscriptions off the second you get there. Just turn it off the stream. And then when everyone leaves, you can start again. That's good. That's a good idea. I like that.
That a higher up at Kickstarter retweeted this document, as well as giving more insight that Wizards of the Coast did contact them about that 20% share. So that feels like this is something that they're strongly considering implementing sometime relatively soon. Now let's get to the change that is by far the scariest one for the community.
Really? There's a
In
scarier
here,
one?
it
'Cause
says
those two
one of the
alone would be
caveats
annoying.
is the company can modify or terminate this agreement for any reason whatsoever, provided we give 30 days notice. So what does this mean? Well, a lot of you may have found 750K to be reasonable. Like, okay.
Bro, why would a creator want to work with them at all? Hey, you know how we have a good deal? We're going to make it really shitty. But don't worry, we can then legally make it shittier at any time for any reason with 30 days notice. So make sure to build the foundation of your livelihood, future, and business on our platform. What a stupid fucking contract! What makes no sense, bro?
Okay, that's a lot of money. They can take some royalties on it. That's fine. But with this in here, it's them saying, okay, it doesn't really have to be 750K as long as we...
Bro, I'm arguing about this. Like, I think the first thing to do is look at this and be like, all right, well, Hasbro's being evil or shitty. But what I'm kind of really trying to hone on here is how fucking stupid it is. Like, because here's the thing. Apple takes 30% of everything on the whole fucking internet, basically. The entire mobile economy, which is how most people experience the internet, Apple gets 30%. That's a bigger cut than this. Apple is greedy. Apple is, vindictive and vicious, but they're not stupid. They have the leverage. They have the power. People can't go elsewhere. Apps can't just go to a different store. They have the reason to do it. So I at least can understand it. But Hasbro doesn't have that, bro. Dungeons & Dragons has many, many competitors and different variations. At the end of the day, it's just a fucking brand name on top of a series of rules that you could easily modify. There's no reason they will stay with D&D if you're going to put all these fucking terms on them. It's a manual book. D&D is at its core just like a fucking manual book from the 70s. People can do different. It is not, you know what I'm saying? If I want to watch my favorite creators role play, they can find a way to do that without putting the D&D logo on it. So it's just stupid business.
We give you 30 days notice.
They don't have a company copyright on a D20. Like a 20-sided dice is not owned by Dungeons & Dragons. You can just call it something else.
open and like terminate this whenever we want, or they can modify it whenever they feel like it. Like, hey, Junior, I saw you and your high school theater troupe was running this YouTube channel for a D&D custom campaign. You guys made like what, $3,000 in ad revenue over the last year? Well, Hasbro's really fucking sinking down the shitter right now. We're down another 40% this year, so I think we're gonna come take some royalties on that. Here's your 30-day notice, just giving you a heads up. Like, they can now just continuously change things as long as they give you that notice. There's just no...
Not even the setting is there. It's the only content they have the copyright. Yeah, they have a copyright over the exact specific rules, as my understanding, and the brand name Dungeons and Dragons. You can just call it something else, and there's nothing they can do about it. There's no fucking judge on earth that's going to be like, well, you rolled a D20 in a way it's suspiciously like... There's no fucking, that's why it's just so dumb. It's like so desperate. It just, to me, it feels like desperation and stupidity, which are funny. It's just it's a funny thing to see, but it's not going to like, I'm not worried about Critical Role. You know what I'm saying? They'll be fine because they have a relationship with the audience. The audience loves the role players. It doesn't matter the exact format. Hasbro needs to roll a nat 20 on their next press release. Lugsy, he's on fire! Holy shit, new mod's got jokes! Holy shit, dude. Mandatory Omega Lol will probably time you out. Okay, but what if they take my D&D character from me? Yeah, that is a real concern. I think there's a real concern that a lawyer from Hasbro might come in and take your D&D character. He might take your fucking gnome bard.
No security. There's no stability for anyone that is making these third-party D&D, this content, anything like that.
Not my high elf warlock.
A very scary area for it to be in right now. And if all of these leaks are accurate, if all of these changes do come true, I absolutely could envision this being the end of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Because no one's just playing vanilla Dungeons and Dragons, not to the level that people are doing these third-party stuff in their own custom adventures. So, like, if that element is gone, most people are just not going to really play. Like, you know how many new people Critical Role brought to Dungeons and Dragons?
Bro, it's so funny because this is why, there was a time, thankfully they realized the fucking sheer stupidity of it, but there was a time when Blizzard was threatening to pull their games from Twitch. Like, you know what? You're not going to be allowed to stream WoW or whatever. And it's like, bro, do you think you have the fucking power? Do you think, what are you talking? Like, bro, if they can't stream your games, you're just going to lose new gamers. People are just not going to, people aren't going to go fucking play your shit. It's so stupid. It's like so, if you're a company and a company like Critical Role, a bunch of talented people are working fucking 24/7 to make great content that promotes your brand, you should thank your lucky stars. You should have to pay them, but they're doing it for free. Oh, it's so crazy. Like, you should be so lucky. And to drive them away is like the dumbest fucking thing. Yeah, for free. Honestly, the fucking contracts be rewritten so they have to pay Critical Role, dude. It's free marketing. But luckily, they make enough money on their own that it's a win-win. And you're going to fuck up a win-win because you're greedy.
Calculable amount. That's how probably the majority of people have found it more recently, is things like Critical Role and the other big players in the space. So if they can no longer flourish, well, you're going to lose a lot of potential players or a lot of existing community members. They'll go somewhere else. They'll start their own stuff in a less restrictive environment. It is absolutely a potential community killer here. They've made an enemy out of the people that use their property. The people that are the biggest fans, they have now vilified.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. And that's why it's so dumb, because literally it sounded like their plan this year was to make D&D a bigger brand, was to launch the movie with Chris Pine, get it more publicity, sell merch, maybe do cons and stuff, like just try to get D&D to be more in the public sphere again. And to do that right as you fucking piss off every one of your core fans, it's just so stupid. It's so stupid. Anyway, Great video from Charlie. Really well explained. I liked it a lot. And from the original guy that he was also like getting some information from. Already biggest bag fumble? Yeah, I mean, no, there's been a lot of big bag fumbles, let me tell you. We'll talk about some of them today in wins and fails, which I'm going to start here in probably 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes. The first time I looked at D&D was because of content creators. Bro, that's everything. I mean, that's everything in gaming lately. Most people are like the biggest discovery mechanism in gaming, whether it's D&D or physical games or a lot of things, it's content creators. YouTubers, Twitch streamers, whatever. It's like that's how people are finding out about new games. It's like it's like they aren't reading fucking magazines anymore. You know, they're not going to fucking GameSpot. They're not watching TV and seeing a commercial. They're finding out through content creators. And so, you know, for companies to like actively turn them away to try and squeeze dollars out is just, it's short-sighted. I found Hollow Knight through your playthrough and it's my favorite game now. That's fucking hype. I hope you're excited for Silksong. Nintendo Power was the shit though. It actually was kind of hype. Bro, I loved Electronic Gaming Monthly. I used to fucking I remember very distinctly I would go into, when my mom would go shopping, I would pick up the EGM and I would go sit in the corner and I would just read the whole time, the cover to cover, the whole magazine. That's like, I love doing that. I would do that all the time. Anywhere we would go, I would just find the game magazine and I would sit there and read the whole fucking thing. Doug Raid. Wait, was that? Did I read that record? I actually didn't see. Doug Raid. Thank you. I do not have any mole juice. Thank you for the reference. Good to see you all. I don't have any mole juice. Turns out mole juice was just a flask of whiskey that I stole from the hotel that day. If you guys want to know. Little secret, little trick of the trade. Good to see you all. I had a good time hanging out with Doug pretty recently at some party. Good to see you all. We're talking about how Wizards of the Coast have absolutely fucked up in a major way and are burning all of their fans right before the year they're supposed to announce their big movie and their public D&D campaign. Atrioc, do you write in a journal? No. No, bro. I don't write. I'm not fucking in the 1800s. I don't write in a fucking journal. Does anyone here journal? Is that a hobby that I've never heard of anyone who actually journals? It's healthy? Yeah, I know it's supposed to be healthy, but I don't know if anyone physically you write down no, you're all lying. You're bullshitting. No, there's no fucking shot. I journal on Google Docs. I guess that's interesting. I'm not saying it's bad. I remember there was this website called, it was called like 200 words or something. 200words.com, something like that. 150 words. The idea was like, it was a little like online journal and you just had to write a certain amount of words every day. And the idea was to get better at writing. Like if you just did it every day and wrote a little journal, you'd like feel happier and it would be better at writing. But the problem is I did it for like 2 days and then I started cheating. Even though it's only for myself and no one would ever see it, I started cheating. I started like putting like fucking filler words and I started typing like, okay, here I am typing about nothing. ... Let's go. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing? What's the point? Why am I doing this? And so that was the last time I ever even close to journal. Chat GPT, my own journal. How does that work? Let me see. Wait. Chat GPT. Can Chat GPT write a journal entry? Write a journal entry for me. That is 200 words that covers a normal, uneventful day in the life of a 1-year-old American male who streams on Twitch occasionally and walks his dog daily. Today was a pretty normal day for me. I woke up around 7 a.m., had a cup of... this is bullshit. Doesn't even have any close to accurate... not even close to accurate to me what my journal would be, bro. Not even close to fucking accurate. No, it doesn't. This fucking AI doesn't know shit about shit, dude. Doesn't know piss about dick. After a walk, I came home and had breakfast. I spent the rest of the morning catching up on emails and responding to messages from friends and followers on Twitch. Did not fucking do that. Had dinner, went for a walk with my dog after that. I spent the time streaming on Twitch before calling it a night. This is an awful journal entry, bro. I'm not fucking... Ender Buddy, thank you for the 2 months of Prime. You said, I'm going to work with you someday. Mark my words. Let me give you a small tip. I'm going to give you a small tip. If you are looking... like, let's say there's a company you're looking to work at. I would not do a mark my word. Mark my words has an ominous tone. I know it's more of an aspirational thing that you're saying, but it's vaguely threatening. It's vaguely... If you're, like, let's say you're, if they're a local GameStop and you're trying to get a job, don't say, you're going to hire me, mark my words. You could just say, hey, I'd like a job here. I'm interested. I'm working. Just like, there's a way of phrasing it. Mark my words sounds ominous. You remember him now? I don't know if that's always a good thing, is what I'll say. Uncle Brother, thank you for the 3 months. Ender Buddy, thank you again. I'm radioactive, thank you for the 2 months. Mr. Dodge. I thought you were Mr. Doge, dude. I thought you were part of the Doge squad. Nick Pat, thank you for the Prime. I saw a tweet today of some guy who clearly has lost his fucking life savings in Doge. Is like, dude, how is Shiba Army beating Doge Army? Where are the rest of the people of Doge Army? It's like, it feels like I'm the only one left. And I was like, man, bro, you got played. You got fucking played, dude. You'll regret the day you don't work with me. Trust in this, Atrioc, is better phrasing. Yeah, that's perfect phrasing. Yeah, that's perfect. You'll regret it. Hey, I'm not going to tell you how, but you're going to deeply regret it if you don't give me a job. That makes sense. That's like a common, fun interaction. Send that to Apple, yeah. Tell Tim Cook, you're going to regret it. Say, hey, Tim, I'm not saying I know where you live. I'm just saying you will regret it if you don't hire me. And he's like, wow, this guy's got moxie. Worked for Ninja? When did Ninja do that? Do you think Ninja went to Mixer and said, if you don't pay me $60 million, you'll regret it? Because he did, and it was amazing. Yeah, it was one of the best business deals of all time. It was incredible, dude. It's crazy how much more money Ninja has made than every other streamer. Just because he was good at Fortnite at the right time. It's crazy. The timing is impeccable. It's insane. This is mind-boggling, dude. Are you covering the Microsoft layoffs and the Halo community saying the game is dead now? If the Halo, well, I mean, those are two separate things. I will talk about the Microsoft layoffs, but they're not firing 10,000 Halo employees. There's no correlation at all. They have a lot of employees. There's no correlation with the Halo. I mean, yeah, 10,000. I mean, it's a big layoff. Don't get me wrong. 10,000 people is a lot of people, but Microsoft's massive, and this is not localized to, I don't know, whatever. I mean, it's not even the people that are making Halo. They're firing 10,000 Halo players. They don't have enough, bro. Thoughts on Starfield possibly becoming the Xbox flagship franchise? My thoughts are, holy fuck, Xbox is doomed. If that's the case, If that's the fucking case, my thoughts are Jesus Christ, run for the hills, dude. How are you going to spend $70 billion on content and your best fucking game this year is Starfield? Starfield looks bad, dude. They did fire a lot of people from 343. Let me see. Jason Schreier. Let's see. Jason Schreier on Twitter. What did he say about 343? Microsoft is laying off 10,000 people today, including some in its gaming divisions, such as Xbox and Bethesda. Okay. Halo Infinite's campaign team did get hit. Interesting. Isn't the campaign already out? Or did they have something promised? Bill Gates fell off, man. Yeah. Post-launch expansion? I got it. Yeah, I think the problem is Halo Infinite hasn't really hit with players, right? Like, it just hasn't connected in a way that people are, like, actively... It's doing all right, but it's just not doing anything. And so... I saw some tweets today saying that Halo is dead, like that this is it for the franchise, and I think that's pretty unlikely. I think they'll just keep rebooting. Like they'll get a whole new team. The IP is going to keep getting used because it has cultural clout. Launching with no campaign was crazy. Yeah, it really was. The whole idea was kind of silly and goofy and stupid. The more open world shit and yeah. Aren't they remaking Marathon? That's what I heard, but there's not a lot of excitement for it. It's such an old game. Did you see the Time magazine report about the underpaid Kenyan workers who make ChatGPT less toxic? Yeah, I did. So OpenAI hired like a gazillion $2 an hour Kenyan workers to like read the responses of ChatGPT and make them less toxic. But in itself, that is an extremely toxic action. So it's it's funny that like that's the goal. It's like, all right, we've made the world a better place. It's like, no, did you? Interesting, they laid off 10K and are still trying to acquire Blizzard. Yeah, they're almost actually assuredly going to have layoffs at Blizzard after they acquire it. Which I still think they will. I didn't include in my predictions because I'm really not certain. I'm just going off a very basic principle, which is that if they're a big enough company with enough money, the government won't stop you. I'm going off a real basic principle that if you have enough money and you're throwing enough lawyers at it, the government won't stop you. And that's been true for most major mergers. And a lot of them are stupid anyway. Like sometimes the merger doesn't get blocked and you think, oh God, this is going to be a monopoly. But the companies are so incompetent that it ends up being a disaster for them. So it's like, all right, maybe, I guess the government was right not to block it. And I think Blizzard might end up being one of those situations. So I think they're going to have to make big concessions. I think Blizzard's going to have to fucking, put it in writing that they're never going to take COD off PlayStation, etc., all that stuff. But I think it will go through.
Whoa, hello.
Hey, man.
Hey, no, what are you up to?
Doing a little wins and fails.
When's it found boring? Yeah.
Everyone's saying hi,
Yeah,
Ari.
they always say hi. They're clamoring for an Ari
They
stream.
want an Ari stream bad.
But be careful, because this game controller throw zone. It's true. Brandon is he's a rager, is what he is.
Only in Melee.
What about Shardbound?
That was a long
What
time
else
ago,
do you
babe.
rage at? I guess
That's it. That's it.
Shardbound is like the worst period in my life. Just so you know. Yeah. I hated that so much. Like, I would cry myself to sleep. Yeah.
Babe, they're gonna think you're serious.
Well, this was in the
I
past.
know, but they're gonna think you actually.
Well, it was upsetting, obviously. Yeah, like people think, oh, Brandon plays so much League, but that wasn't that bad, you know?
Really?
I'll tell you now, like, to your face, Shardbound for me was, like, the worst.
That's funny.
Like, I hated that.
You don't understand, though. I was really good at Shardbound.
That's only because only 3 people played.
And I was the best with the 3, baby.
Yeah, sure. I hate that. Was, like, for sure the worst, I think. Easy.
Mm-hmm.
Easy, no question. But yeah.
All right, did you have
Have
fun?
you heard of the movie Don't Be a Menace in Juice South Central or something?
Yeah. Yeah, I have.
Oh,
It's
so
great.
he's heard of it, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
haven't,
good.
but we're gonna watch it right now.
All right, it's a good one.
Yeah, is it funny?
Yeah, it's funny.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, it's old, but it's good.
Yeah, it's from '96. It's not that old. Or is it?
Well, coming on 30 years now.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Well, I heard it was flying.
Oh, Chevy's in here. Wow, the whole fucking squad. Chevy cat, come here. Come here, Chev cat. Chevy. He's found a wire in my computer that he wants to play with. So he's going. Come here, Chevy. I'm not gonna let him cook. He's gonna pull the wire. Thanks, chat. You saying has called him over. What a good tingo. Chevron with a cat. What a sweet cat you are. It's blurry. There you are. Looks a little grumpy, actually, huh? A little bit of a grump right now. He's big. Look how fucking big he is. Alright, wait. What if you go in here? Wait. How about that? How about that, Chevy? Just chill in a little box. That is one suave cat. Okay, he's getting out. He's not big. You are small. Ha ha. Good one. I can't, dude. I literally can't. I fucking can't. Just the fucking comedy geniuses are consistent here. All right. I think it's time. I think it's time for wins and fails, if you don't mind. Is there anything else that we should talk about? Is there anything else that we should talk about? Oh, Chevy is locked in. Chapter. You want to get out? There you go. Come on, Chevy. El Gato Es Grande. I knew I had a Latino audience. I knew it. I knew, finally, my people. Wait, is tomorrow Slime versus Squeaks? Is that what I'm judging? Oh, God, dude. I want them both to lose. How am I possibly going to pick? How am I possibly going to pick, dude? Oh, God. Is there a way that I could just literally fail them both and we give the trophy to me, maybe? Is that crazy? Well, one of them knows your family on a personal level, so I'd support that one. I know that Squeaks is often a mentor and a confidant to all of my aunts and uncles. But I don't want to, it's not relevant, dude. Slime cried when he heard about you judging. Oh, man, that is funny. That is a hoot. I cannot wait to. Really excited for Slime's food. Yum, 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 yum. I'm so excited. Can't wait to eat it. I'm going there hungry, dude. Cannot wait. Yummy. He's gonna poison you, bro. No, Slime wouldn't do it. Oh, actually, I have to give Slime a gift. Wait, where is it? Where is it? I got Slime a gift. No cap. What the heck? Hey, babe. Hey, babe. What's up? Have you seen the capybara hat that I got for Slime? It's in the car in the passenger seat. Oh! Cringe. All right, well, it's a capybara hat. I already said it. It's a nice little hat with a capybara on it that I think he'll like. I saw it in a store and I was like, damn, that's a Slime hat. So I'm going to get it for him. You should buy Squeaks a hat too. He's arguably balder. So unnecessary. So unnecessary, bro. So completely out of line, out of pocket. He's not, by the way, no one's arguably balder than a completely bald man. Okay, we gotta go to wins and fails here. I'm burning through time. Let's get to wins and fails. Thank you to Charlie for that great video, and thanks everyone for updating me on Wizards of the Coast. Closing these tabs here. Let's see. Do I have everything that I need? Okay. Oh, you want to see something? This is not a win or a fail. I couldn't really fit it in, but I just thought it was so fucking funny. I think it's parody. I think it has to be parody. But the problem is, okay, this is the tweet. It was, I've been thinking a lot about IRL podcasts. Bring a few friends together, no mics, nothing is recorded. Have a freeform discussion, can even have food or drinks. Has anyone tried this? I thought it was fake, but then I found out that he is a fintech startup founder, which are the least funny people on earth. So I have no fucking idea if he's like seriously trying to fucking hack his life. And now I'm fucking, I have no idea. It's baffling, but it's hilarious. If funny, I mean, if intentionally funny, it's hilarious. And if unintentionally funny, it's hilarious. That's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. No, that's a good idea. My dude invented having friends. The first reply was, how do you monetize it? Which is fucking awesome. Monetize it with ads at your dinner parties. Profit. Oh, slime clip? Let me see the slime clip. Let's look and see what slime did here.
Morning, before finalist starts, I will be live cooking HelloFresh for our contestants and our judges. I'm happy to announce for tomorrow. We have Quarter Jade in the building. Hey. We have Tina Kitten in the building. We've got Atrioc in the building. No! And our final judge, besides myself tomorrow, we've got the return of JHB in the building.
That's a wild card.
So it should be huge tomorrow morning before finalist starts. I will be live.
Oh, that's so fucking funny. Wait. Wait, one second. I actually have something. Wait. Oh. now. So just had to. It's not Coke. I didn't have a crazy idea and then leave to go fucking do Coke, dude. Fucking relax. I had an idea that I wanted to tell Ari that I'm going to send her right now. One second. Okay. Atrioc, give the winner tomorrow your FTX hat. That I think there's a cash prize, which they'd probably prefer. You're PayPaling her so she can run and pick up more Coke from the supermarket. I'm PayPaling my wife, who shares a bank account with me, so she can go to the supermarket to use PayPal funds to purchase cocaine. Is that what you think is happening? Right. How did you guys know? You are truly detectives of the highest caliber. Swamp Village, thank you for 12 months. Real Mr. Stu, thank you for 3. Mom Slayer, 8,000. That's your name, Mom Slayer? Mom Slayer 8,000 subscribed for 24 months and said, can you keep it down? My girlfriend is trying to sleep. Yes, I have a girlfriend. Giga Chad. Feels like you shoehorned that in a little bit on your 24-month sub alert. But congrats, dude. I will keep it down. End of fight. Thank you for the 10 months. Cowboy Greg, thank you for the Prime. Mike 21, thank you for the 9 months. Splash Zone, thank you for the 6. Hidden Weed, thank you for the 29 months. Captain Eddie. All right. Okay, Big A, quick question. Do you have any recs for sources to stay informed in the business world? People ask me this literally all the time. Ever since, as predictions especially, people have been asking me nonstop. Again, so many fucking DMs about what I read and listen to. I will tell you that my favorite source lately is FT, the Financial Times, where I literally am now getting the physical magazine. And the reason I like it is because that institution is already so soulless. In that the writers of that magazine believe so strongly that the world should be run and everything should be done in service of making money. Like everything is about money. Everything should make more money. Everything should be financialized. They believe that so strongly that they don't even, and they assume their readers do too, to the point where they have no incentive or need to lie. So it's really it's so funny because it's like for hedge fund managers and stuff like that. So like they'll be openly honest that there is climate change. But like only in the context of like how it might hurt your profits as a fucking, do you know what I'm saying? Like if it was like a different if it was like more public facing, they would need to like obfuscate a little bit. But everything they say is so straightforward, as if like we're all on the same page here. Everything's about money. We're going to make more money. So you're going to need to worry about this, which is climate change. This is that people are underpaid, so they might be angry. Like everything they say is like so to the point. So I actually have really grown to enjoy it as long as I read it with a lens of like, you know, I don't believe this personally, but like the facts I'm getting are more accurate. So yeah, that's something I've really enjoyed, but I you know, I actually have a pretty wide variety of sources, to be honest. Okay, anyway, we're gonna get to it. Speaking of that, let's jump into it. All right. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go over the wins and fails for this week in marketing business after this intro. January 18th. Today, we're going to go over the wins and fails in this week in marketing and business. Let's start with a look back, though, at 2022. Okay, very quickly, I didn't do a full awards show this year. No Marketing Monday awards, but there's a couple things from 2022 in the world of marketing that I wanted to spotlight on. So I came up with a couple little categories, and I wanted to give my favorites for 2022. Number one, let's talk about the most hilarious ad of 2022 in hindsight. And double winner, best spokesman of 2022. Ladies and gentlemen.
Like I was saying, it's FTX. It's a safe and easy way to get into crypto.
I don't think so. And I'm never wrong about this stuff. Never.
This is, in hindsight, one of the greatest ads ever. Because Larry David somehow found a way to take a massive check from FTX, be in a Super Bowl, be the face of FTX in the Super Bowl, and walk away scot-free. He gets to walk away looking like a fucking Giga Chad. It's a hilarious ad. He gets to walk away looking funny and make a ton of money. Matt Damon over here is like the face of crypto scams forever because he did one ad. Larry David made sure the ad was like a reverse thing where he gets to be the guy who doesn't believe in it. And somehow he's the fucking GOAT. It's actually genius. It's actually the most ultimate spokesperson deal of all time. Ultimate Giga Chad. So I give him, looking back at the last year, this is the most unintentionally hilarious ad and the greatest play by Larry David. I want to give another award for the worst narrator in an ad ever. From 2022's ad for the Lamborghini Huracan.
This one's for you. Concrete urine.
Wait, sorry. While you're watching this ad, imagine if it just didn't have narration. It would be like pretty decent. And then hear the narration and be just... Go, server.
Concrete uriner. Tamer of curves. Master of speed. Wear your finest suit. Dirt is made for it. Let the show off begin. On this new concrete, spray paint powder on tires that thrive on the rim. Dust is gold. Dirt's for the bold. Block out the sun, raising red clouds on that dry ground. Make gravel rain down.
Wicked!
Let adrenaline and fun collide. Spray grains of dust aside. It's no filth. This is design. Any amount of grime is fine.
Shut up!
The more you get dirty, the more you'll shine.
Mars, bro. Mars.
Dust is gold, dirt's for the bold. Dust is gold, dirt's for the
Don't
bold.
say it again. Lamborghini reminds you to respect traffic laws and regulations and to drive safely. Beyond the concrete. The fucking comments are so funny. There's no way this is supposed to be a real ad. I feel like I pulled a muscle in my face cringing so hard. I love how the narrator is just so seriously saying all of that. This commercial went through so many grown adults, cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and at no point did someone say, this is bad. Dust is gold, dirt's for the bold. My favorite part is when he said it's dust in time. Truly some bold words. This is perfection, the sheer finesse, the focus on detail. The carefully picked words, now they form a decent, elegant dance of linguistic treasure. This person not right. This could be one of the single best, strongest, and most impressive ever I've ever experienced. Whoo! That's good. The executive was so proud of his 6-year-old son's poem he had it immortalized in this absolute keynote. Amazing. Anyway, I give that one of my worst ads of the year. And I want to give a quick shout out to what I thought, this is not a joke. I want to give a quick to probably the two things I saw were some of the best examples of marketing. I wanted to give an overall advertising of the year award to the people over at Liquid Death. Liquid Death had a pretty incredible year because they turned canned water into a $700 million business entirely through advertising. Specifically, they had this one. It was just kids getting drunk, but it's on water. Oh, I gotta fix this. Where's the... Anyway, they were just the right amount of edgy and funny that they actually got people to actively want to watch their ads. You know, they would get multiple millions of views on these things. They did a pretty hilarious ad with The Deep from The Boys that was actually funny and on brand for the show. Like, if you like the show, the ad was actually funny. It's got The Deep, actually burning a pile of trash.
Heroes by declaring death to plastic.
And it burns when I breathe.
It's refreshing to do good, so please keep our oceans beautiful.
It was just pretty impressive. They did a couple things. And the one I liked the most was this one.
Should I go ahead and put the blindfold on?
Put it on. So, can you see?
Nope.
Okay, perfect. What do you think?
I like that.
It's sweet.
That one's pretty good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yuck.
So between the two, would you...
Yeah, that one might make me myself. For sure.
Wow, very expensive.
Oh, okay.
Do you need the bucket?
I might really vomit.
Oh, Jesus.
Fuck you, dude.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
Putrid. This is bad. What's in it?
Oh, man.
That's disgusting.
Do not make me try it again. Oh.
So between the two, which do you prefer, A or B?
Yeah, I prefer this a lot.
This is much better. It tastes way better.
Yes, I love this one.
A is the way to go. No more B, please.
Hated B. Hated.
No, that's B again.
Oh.
Better than the most expensive beverages on earth. Starting at $1.9.
Anyway, it's clever, it's funny, it's attention grabbing. It did well on TikTok and YouTube. And it's a funny concept for an ad. And they did a couple of these, and they did it pretty consistently. And they managed to turn basically canned water into wealth for their entire life and their kids and their grandkids, which is pretty impressive. That's a pretty impressive thing to do in about I think a very small amount of time, 2 years. So I was overall impressed with them over the year, and I thought I'd give them a thumbs up for the best overall marketing in 2022. But I wanted to give the single best piece of marketing actually to a movie that I haven't even seen called Smile. Because Smile is apparently a pretty mid movie. Nothing special about it. But Smile marketed itself so well. They had a variety of interesting ads. They had the iconic smile face they did. And then they paid these actors to stand in the background of baseball games, news reports, sporting events. And the movie crushed. So just to put it in perspective, Smile made $200 million at the global box office. Now, you might be thinking, well, okay, that's whatever. Black Adam made $400 million. Why aren't we talking about The Rock's marketing? The problem is Black Adam made $400 million and lost money because it cost $250 million to make, another $100 million in marketing, something like that. So while this movie cost almost nothing to make, cost $17 million to produce. So this is a massive success. By making a relatively cheap movie and spending their time on creative marketing, they had a fucking massive hit. While The Rock, the biggest star in the world, was paid $1 million per Instagram post and couldn't save Black Adam. So I just thought it was impressive. I thought Smile was pretty impressive. And they're trying to do it again this year with Megan. If you guys don't know, Megan is basically an attempt to follow that same formula where it's like a pretty low budget horror movie and they market it as well as they can and try to make big money. The original example, the GOAT example, which is better than all of these combined, you guys probably don't even know it because it's from the 90s, was the Blair Witch Project, which was like the first found footage horror film. This cost, this cost like $60,000 to make. Nah, $200K. This cost less than $1 million to make, and it ended up making, let's see, box office. Like $140 million in the U.S., $108 million in other territory. What was the total? I don't fucking see it here. Anyway, I think this still has the record for the best return on investment of all time in all movies. 348 million gross. Okay, great. 248 million. Sorry, 248 million gross. 248 million on an investment of like $500,000 is fucking crazy. Apparently it's a thing for well-marketed horror movies, and Smile was the one last year. So those are my quick awards. I didn't want to do too much because I'm not doing a whole award show, but just wanted to tell you that I had those thoughts when I was starting to think of a award show, and I wanted to include them. But let's talk about what's going on now. Let's talk about what's going on in the last week, and let's get my first official win. I'm giving a win to the concept of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because I want to tell a story that I told some of you yesterday about the app TBH. Now, in 2017, an app called TBH came out where you could anonymously give compliments to your fellow teens, if you were a teen. If you are older than a teen, you shouldn't be on this app. Anyway, if you were in 10th grade, you could vote on who had the best smile. Maybe it was Chad Simmons. All right? And Facebook saw this app growing like crazy, and they said, holy shit, we want that. So they bought it. And they said, we're going to let it run. Unfortunately, they couldn't really figure out how to make it work or monetize, so they shut it down almost immediately. No big deal, because immediately after that, the founder of this app, Nikita Beer, started an app called Gas, which you might take a look at and realize is the exact same fucking app. It's the exact same app, bro. Wait, if I can get a fucking screen of it. There, Gas. He started the app called Gas, which is literally the same thing, except you gas up your friends than a TBH. And you know what happened? Is it was immediately acquired by Discord. So he sold the same app twice. And then, following this announcement that he just sold it, he tweeted today, I have an idea for an app. It's actually one of the most Giga Chad founder stories I've ever seen, because the app is really simple. Like, technically, any of these companies could make it, but for some reason, he keeps making it and keeps selling it. And he's making millions each time. It's just really, really funny. So I want to give him a dub. But speaking of acquisitions that didn't go so well, not his went fine for him. But let's talk about something that didn't go well. I want to talk about an app called Frank. Some of you, maybe when you were applying for FAFSA loans, maybe even used Frank or heard about Frank. Frank was a website that made it easier for students to figure out financial aid. It was an app called Frank. And eventually, it got enough users. It was growing pretty fast. A lot of people were using it. And so JP Morgan Chase came in, the big commercial bank, and offered to buy Frank. And people were thinking, well, why do you really want Frank? What's the benefit of Frank to JP Morgan Chase? And it turns out the idea was this. JP Morgan Chase wanted to start building a relationship with people when they were basically younger so that they would eventually become customers of JP Morgan Chase. It was like before you figured out where your credit card comes from and where your bank account is, and before you've chosen all the financial things in your life, because people don't switch very often. Once you've picked a bank you like, you're kind of stuck with it. So the idea is find consumers when they're young, get them addicted to JP Morgan Chase, and then they never switch. That's the plan. Okay? So they buy Frank for like $150 million or something. A lot of money. They buy Frank for a lot of money. JP Morgan Frank is buying college financial aid platform for deepen ties with students. It served more than 5 million students since it was launched by Charlie Javis in 2017. And so they buy it and they realize, okay, so we bought this basically. I mean, if you think about what they bought it for, it's just a bunch of people. Like they have a bunch of students and they're going to market to them, JP Morgan Chase. So basically, they bought a very, very expensive mailing list. If you think about what they actually bought, they bought an expensive mailing list of kids' emails to try and get them, all right? So they buy it. And the first thing they do is make a whole bunch of marketing material promoting JP Morgan Chase, and they send it to all of these kids. They make a list of 400,000 Frank customers, and they send them an email saying, hey, what's up? Check us out, JP Morgan Chase. And then immediately they notice something's wrong because when they send to those 400,000 people, they get an open rate of 0.0125. Only 124 students out of 400,000 emails actually even open it. It's the lowest they've ever had on any marketing ever. Nobody has ever had email marketing that low. The open rate's astronomical. So they're like, wait, what's going on here? And then they start investigating and they look into it and they start to realize, wait a minute, a lot of these are getting bounce backs. In fact, a lot of these emails aren't even real. In fact, a lot of these people aren't even real. And they realize that, in fact, Frank has a grand total of a very few amount of students using it, and in fact created a ton of fake users. They created almost 5 million fake customers and then sold themselves to JP Morgan Chase. The entire thing was a scam. Charlie Javis basically had a very small amount of customers, and he paid a programmer to create lookalike customers. So like if he had 100 people and there was like, I don't know, a girl named Rachel Dawson, they would just create a duplicate and switch the name that has similar attributes, same age, same buying preferences, same student loan. And so they just created 5 million. Is that legal? No. So JP Morgan Chase is now suing Frank. JP Morgan Chase, they shut down Frank out and they're suing the founder. Except the founder, the founder is suing them back. Saying, nuh-uh, I didn't scam you, nuh-uh. So it's a really hilarious back and forth. It's really, and what's really funny is that when JP Morgan Chase acquired Frank, they kept all the talent and in fact gave the founder a pretty high up position at JP Morgan Chase. Like until very recently when this lawsuit began, this person was an employee of JP Morgan Chase making great money. And now they are expecting JP Morgan Chase to pay their own legal bills as they countersue by JP Morgan Chase. So it's a real fucking hilarious turn of events in the startup acquisition world. And, you know, while I do think this person is a scammer and probably shouldn't win this case, I think it's very funny that JP Morgan Chase's idea of due diligence was like, do you have a list of these people? Okay, it looks good to me. Like, they're the big bank. This is a fucking scrappy startup, and they did nothing before giving them millions of dollars. Like, they did no fucking due diligence. Like, this person was not even accomplished scammer. So that's that. Anyway, let's give a win. That was a fail. Let's give an actual win. I want to give a win to the concept of playing the long game. When it comes to the internet, a lot of people are in it for short-term money, short-term results. But I think those that play the long game will do best, which is why I want to give an actual honest-to-God, heartfelt, awesome win to Deonurst Collin, who is the Popeyes meme kid, who now, like a decade later, is now a freshman offensive lineman and has an NIL deal with Popeyes. Popeyes literally signed him to I think it's the name, image, likeness deal. So literally, he is going to be a spokesperson for Popeyes, is making bank as an accomplished high school football player, or I'm sorry, college football player now. And all because of his original Popeyes meme, dude.
Popeye. Ooh. Say ooh. Atrioc at Popeye.
This
Say,
one
ooh.
moment. This one moment is now going to make him a fuck ton of money. Like 10 years later. That's awesome. And I don't want to say it's just pure luck either because he put some work into it. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here he is. He actually started an online campaign. I need everyone to go to my Instagram and repost my post and tag it. And eventually Popeyes heard, let's get this bread-ing, and put out this thing, and they signed him to a deal. So good hustle by him. Apparently he's also like really good at football. State champ. So, good shit. Congrats to him. Big win. I thought that was kind of a cool little self-promotion for him, and ended up with a fun end to the story. Which is why I'm trying to think of which other memes from our early days of the internet that we could start to monetize. Do you know what I'm saying? Who's an internet meme that in a few years we could get a fucking deal? Coffee cow. Dude, you're gonna know I need money, dude. You're gonna know I need money if in fucking in fucking 2030 I'm on the fucking Starbucks ad, and that's why I'm a cow for this coffee. A fucking TikTok 2 ad. Anyway, I want to give that. The next win is well, this is actually just a fail, dude. I was going to do an ironic win. I looked into the WWE story because there's a lot going on with WWE, and I wanted to know what the hell is actually happening with WWE, because people were telling me the Saudis were going to buy it. I wanted to see what's happening. Here's what happened. Let me explain it to you rather simply. Vince McMahon, this guy on the right, owned WWE. He's the chief shareholder. He owned a vast majority of it, and he was CEO. Then some news came out that he had like $12 to $24 million, $12 million of payments to women over 4 years to cover up sexual harassment. Hush money payments to 4 women over 16 years. All right. And so after that came out, the board, which is the group of people that make the decision for the company, they unanimously voted to kick him off the board. Basically, kick him out, remove him as CEO, kick him off the board. All right. He's off. Then a few months pass, and Vince McMahon kind of realizes, hey, I'm still the owner. I'm still the majority shareholder. Like I have the most votes. Like I have all the power here. So he goes and he sends an email to the board of directors. He's like, hey, you know what? I think I've learned my lesson. I think it's time for me to come back as CEO. Okay, let's talk about this. And the board goes, no, we don't think so. We think it'd be bad for the company. I think you should just stay where you are. And he goes, well, I really think you should reconsider. And they reconsider and go, no, I think you can stay out. And he goes, okay, well, you're fired. And then Vince McMahon fired basically everyone on the board because he has that power, because he's the majority owner. So even though they knew this, they knowingly knew he could fire them and still said, don't come back, it's bad. He fired them. And so he replaced the board with a bunch of people that are more friendly to him and came back as CEO. Now that he's back as CEO, he's attempting to basically get out of the whole business and sell. He wants to sell WWE. And WWE is a very valuable property, has a fuck ton of viewers. It's extremely loyal and engaged audience, and they can sell for quite a bit. And so they're looking for a buyer. And there are a number of buyers. Saudi Arabia's Foreign Wealth Fund was listed to be one. Disney at one point was listed to be one. Amazon listed to be one. But the leader right now is mega agency Endeavor, which also owns the UFC. Endeavor used to be a talent agency that represented Hollywood stars like Robin Williams, Tom Cruise, Tom Hanks, etc. And then they started to get more and more into buying properties themselves. They would own actual franchises and own things, and they realized that actors were not even a great business, and they'd rather just own actual things. So they bought UFC and a bunch of other things, and now they want to buy WWE, and they're going to do it with a bunch of debt, which is probably not a great idea, but they are the front runner. So I wanted to give an insane, I don't know whether it's a win or fail, but something to Vince McMahon for literally having an email conversation with people where he didn't really want them to answer. He just sort of wanted them to do what he said and ended up firing him to do that. They bought the UFC with debt. Yeah, and again, buying something that is extremely valuable with debt, knowing that it'll go up in value, is not crazy. It's just not maybe the best time for it. How much does WWE cost? I don't know what it'll go for, but it's going to be a lot. Yeah, I really don't know where it currently lasts. What did UFC get bought for? The UFC got sold for $4 billion. So, and WWE I think is bigger. So I would say, you know, it's going to be, could be 10 billion. It could be more than that, something like that. So we'll see. We'll see. Hey, if we all pitch in together, we could buy it. Yeah, that's a good idea. No, I like where your head's at. Anyway, win for that. I also want to give an honest to God win. I've been talking about this for a while. Back when I first started to really start talking about monopoly power on this stream, one of the first examples I mentioned of lesser known but really annoying examples of monopoly power in our daily life is John Deere tractors. Because farmers, especially in America, basically have no other choice for a lot of farming equipment than John Deere. John Deere has a monopoly. And if you buy a piece of farming equipment and it breaks down in any way, if anything breaks, you are legally not allowed to get it repaired anywhere else. John Deere has installed software that locks up the machine, and you can only get it repaired through John Deere expensively. Well, very recently, this month, like a week ago, U.S. farmers have won the right to repair John Deere equipment. Right to repair has gone through. This is awesome. They can now fix easy, obvious problems with their machine, like just something simple that breaks. They can just get it fixed for cheap themselves. They can get a local mechanic to fix it, no problem. Instead of having to go through John Deere, pay a fuck ton of money. That's awesome. This is an awesome piece of regulation that I'm actually really happy with. Right to repair. So give it a huge dub, and I hope it happens. I hope it continues. How is that allowed to happen? Bro, do you understand what we live in? It was happened because they had money, dude, and they had a monopoly, and there's no competition. So this is pretty good. The best solution, though, would be to create either incentives or structural breakups that allow more competition to thrive. There should be multiple choices for tractors and farming equipment, but in the absence of that, guaranteeing that they don't have to be screwed nickel and dimed is great. Is this in effect yet? I assume so, yeah. Yeah, it was signed on Sunday, so I assume it's in effect. Great. And I hope it continues. I don't know exactly where it currently stands with regard to like Apple and, other walled garden type tech products where they don't let you repair things. But if they don't have it already, it should be in motion. So anyway, awesome. Why are corporations unjust? I don't even think that's the right way to look at it. I think that they are like hungry animals and they don't care about anything other than getting food, in this case money. Like they're just going to optimize for whatever makes money. And so really you have to have like a government that has common sense good laws that are actually enforced. That's But the problem is the best way for them to make money sometimes is to spend money lobbying to make those laws never happen. So getting money out of politics is like the number one thing. It's like the number one fucking way to start fixing problems. Any hootie, that's a win. I'm very happy about that. But here's a fail, though. Here's a fail. The fail is not enough people in this chat or anywhere else are paying enough attention to marketing. Okay? The marketers are hard at work on all these fucking ads, and a lot of you are tuning out. A lot of you, the ad comes on, and you, honest to God, some people don't even watch the whole ad through. They fucking take out their phone, or they go get a snack, or they do something else. They don't even watch the whole fucking ad. Thank God for the engineering geniuses at Sony, because they have a patent. This is real. This is a real Sony patent that would force viewers to exclaim the brand name during commercials in order to end them. You would need to say McDonald's out loud in order to end the commercial. Ideally, in their example, they would have you stand up and cheer. They would have you stand up and cheer. Interesting. Which brings me to my next win. Rocket Money! Rocket Money! Rocket Money! Rocket Money! I want to shout out Rocket Money, a longtime supporter of Marketing Monday. You can go to rocketmoney.com/Atrioc and check out the app, which allows you to track and see every subscription you are spending money on. For me, who I have a lot, it's very easy to see and then cancel subscriptions. You basically just connect your bank account and it shows you everything you subscribe to. It was actually really, really easy to set up, which I enjoyed because I am kind of dumb. And I use it all the time for canceling news services because I often sign up for things to read one article and then forget to cancel. But you can see all of your different recurring bills and see which ones you want to cancel, and they'll do it there for you. And if you want to go one step beyond, there is a paid version where they were like negotiate down bills, things like cable bills, electricity, etc. They will literally negotiate it down, which is awesome. So I think it's a really cool app. I found it to be quite useful. And even if you only try it like a few times, it's just good to see like, oh, these are all links I'm subscribed to. So thanks to Rocket Money, rocketmoney.com/Atrioc. Please check it out in the link in the description below or below the stream. All right. We've been doing wins, but it's time to give a fail, bro. I got to give a fail to regular human lawyers. Regular human lawyers are fucking dead, dude, because now we have AI-powered robot lawyers, which are essentially, my understanding is essentially just ChatGPT in some form or another. They are going to have an AI lawyer, which is going to be a human with an earpiece that is going to fight a traffic ticket in court next month. Basically, it's going to literally have an encyclopedic knowledge of the entire law, like every law, and then just have perfect responses ready to go with natural language processing to just say why this is or isn't a violation of the law. And so it's interesting. This will be a monumental case. I mean, this is going to be one of those things they put in the documentary when they flash back in 10 years about the rise of AI. We're going to see what this exactly means because, again, there's already examples of AI outperforming doctors at certain things. It'll be interesting to see if AI can outperform lawyers at, knowledge of the law. Can they literally, with instant recall of everything, be more accurate at fighting for a defendant's best interests? We're going to find out. This will be a fun case to watch. It's also possible the AI just fucking says complete horse shit. The guy has the earpiece in here and is like reading a fucking battle rap between Eminem and Liz Truss. And the judge is like, it's possible this goes terrible. It's totally possible this goes terrible, but interesting to see. Someone in chat has mentioned another big win that I've actually found to be one of the most interesting AI developments that I've seen early on is there is an AI extension that automatically reads every NDA, or not NDA, terms and conditions that you're about to sign, and it'll just highlight or tell you in simple language anything that might be weird or different about it, which is awesome, which is really awesome. Yeah, because nobody wants to read those. Nobody ever reads those. And an AI that can parse the whole thing in a second and tell you like if there's anything weird about it is great. That's actually a useful. It's one of the the first early like totally good developments of AI. And I do believe more are coming. I think there's an interesting application. So we'll see how this works for a lawyer. Theoretically, look, I understand that this is a little spooky, but there is a world where this is just like basically a tool that allows a lot of people, which normally have to wait a very long time or get an overworked, underpaid public defender, to get a decent, high-quality defense that uses all aspects of the law. Like, there could actually be a benefit here. I'm going to keep optimistic about it because I literally think our current system actually is pretty not great for a lot of poor people who cannot get a competent lawyer. And so if this got good enough, this could be pretty powerful, but we'll see. Anyway, I'll give it a win for now, but a fail to regular human lawyers. And now, with enough wins and fails behind us, I'd like to get to a segment that we've long forgot. It feels like forever since we've heard the iconic two words.
Was that Beijing?
What's up, Beijing? One more time for the fans, bro.
Was that Beijing?
What's going on, Xi Jinping? What's going on in China? What's been happening? Last we covered it, there was all sorts of chaos, all sorts of disaster. They had just opened up their long-running COVID-0 policy. They just abandoned it one day. They got a couple protests, couple riots, and said, all right, fuck it, it's over. And they just cut the whole thing. And then they had overworked hospitals. They've got mass infections. Hundreds of millions of people infected. The selling out of every antiviral drug. What is going on in China today? Well, I'd like to bring up a certain guy. Do you remember this guy? Do you remember this guy? This guy.
Given the widespread display of anger and frustration at the zero COVID policy.
This guy with a guy who was so afraid to say anything bad about COVID-0 that he paused for like a full minute. Just a massively long pause, then said, can you repeat the question? Then paused for another minute and a half. This guy just got fired. He has been moved to an obscure, quote, obscure role. The reason is this guy, no, he's not executed. He was just moved to, he's now deputy director for boundary affairs. Basically, he was a rising star. He was given a lot of public airtime. He was considered like to be one of the future faces of the party. And instantly, he's been removed. And it's all part of China's plan, China's abrupt about-face plan right now to regain friends. China's plan to reset China's economy and win back friends. Basically, Xi Jinping and the leaders of Communist China have realized that, oh shit, we kind of pissed off too many people at once. It's okay if we piss off just America, but because they showed open support for Vladimir Putin in the war in Ukraine, they actually pissed off a lot of countries, namely a ton of countries in Europe who all have, trade balances with China. And they don't really want to keep up that with having only Russia as their friend and a ton of countries as their enemy. So they're on a big plan to regain friends. Beijing is insisting that its European counterparts agree to repeat a no decoupling mantra, because for the past few months, the big drum that the U.S. has been beating is like, hey, we have to get all of our stuff out of China. Who's with me? Like, Europe, you're with me? Everybody, let's just stop building stuff in China. Let's get out of China. Let's rebuild everything over here in the West. And Xi Jinping is like, let's not. Europe, you don't do that. United States, you can. And so China has realized that it has antagonized too many countries at the same time, particularly among developed countries, which still today are its main trade and economic partners. Again, China is trying to build out BRICS, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, like a sort of a different network of trade. But right now, those countries aren't as developed enough, and China could hurt too much in the short term if it loses access to specifically Europe. So it's trying very hard to reach out to EU and key European nations like Germany, France, Italy, and Spain, as well as Asian allies of America like Japan and South Korea to repair relations. In fact, even Australia, which has a really negative view of China, China normally was like, fuck you, we don't care. But now it's like trying to become friends again. China lifted its coal ban on Australian coal, which was a really big pain point because basically Australia buys a ton of stuff from China, and China was buying coal but then stopped because Australia was saying some things about China. And so now they removed the ban and try and rebuild their friendship. Again, from our perspective, some of this sounds like it's probably not going to work, but some of it is working because China has such enormous balances of trade. The fact remains, like, a lot of countries do way more business with China than they do with the United States. I think there's a good... let's see. There's a really good graph on it that I'd love to find for you. But maybe I don't have it. Oh, perfect. This probably is it. So, yeah, I mean, this is not exactly it, but like, all right, so if a country's in blue, their biggest trading partner is the United States, and if it's in red, their biggest trading partner is China. In 1980, every single country on earth, basically, traded more with the U.S. than China. But in 2018, most of the globe trades way more with China than they do with the United States. And so even if they disagree with China for whatever reason, they can't really piss them off. They can't really. And so as long as China can maintain its friends over here and in some of these areas, they're in a good spot. So Canada did stay loyal. Thanks, Canada. Even though I make fun of your marketing, thanks. So that's the situation. And some of it is working. Again, France is one of the biggest proponents on the EU side of staying within China's good graces. France, Macron, the leader, has been openly saying that he doesn't support decoupling and wants to maintain good relations with China. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But again, this is a friendship tour. And they're just beginning it, but it's on full blast. In fact, China is like basically about facing on a lot of things they were holding firm on until recently. I think in a sense of they're having so many domestic issues right now, they're trying not to have international issues as well. And they're basically just changing a lot of things they thought they were strong enough and can hold. So we'll see. We will see. But that is the update on China, sorry, and on this week in marketing and business. Tune in next week for more wins and fails. Thanks. Thanks for watching. Sheesh. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm thinking we watch a Shark Tank. Uh-oh. Do we enter the tank? What about the Burger King ads? Which Burger King ads? Oh, you meant the Burger King rebrand? I didn't really cover it. Wait, which one? Burger King commercial is driving NFL fans to the brink of insanity. Wait.
Whopper, Junior, Double, Triple, Whopper, Flame Grill taste with perfect toppers. I rule this day. Lettuce, mayo, pickle, ketchup, it's okay if I don't want that Impossible or bacon. Whopper, any Whopper my way.
Whopper.
You're season the day at BK. Have it your way.
Yeah, I mean, I can talk about this real quick. We'll do a little bonus win at the end. Not actually, this is a bonus fail, I think, because people aren't really happy with it. But if you guys don't know, Burger King is in real financial trouble. A lot of Burger King franchisees are having to default and close their stores. Burger King has not seen same-store sale growth, and the competition has been heating up slowly but surely over the decades. Basically, Burger King has been doing the same thing for a very, very long time. And it always printed money because selling fast food hamburgers, especially in America, is a business that's hard to lose money in. But now we're in a world, we got Beast Burger. We got Wendy's really upping their game. McDonald's is always the GOAT. And it's just like tough for Burger King getting squeezed out. People are avoiding going to Burger King. And so Burger King, in desperation, is announcing a massive rebrand. They changed Have It Your Way to their new slogan, You Rule, and they're revamping all of their stores. They're going to do a total redesign, try to make things look cleaner and nicer and basically address some of the customer complaints. And if it works, that's great. But for now, it's going to lead to us seeing a whole hell of a lot of Burger King ads because they are spending money like crazy in a last-ditch effort. If this doesn't work, because they're spending so much money on it, if it doesn't work, it's actually the end of Burger King. Legitimately, I think Burger King is going to be in serious trouble and on the downturn and out if this doesn't lead to sales growth, because they took out a lot of money to try and make this change. So we'll see. But right now, I think we can all enjoy a win of listening to one more time.
2 full meals, $5.99 each. Whopper Royal Crispy, 2 fries, 2 drinks. Double them up or mix and match. Whatever you want, we're into that. BK, have it your way. $5 your way, I rule this day. Nuggets.
You know what's funny is this is unironically worked on somebody. We just played 4 back-to-back ads. Someone in chat is going to go to Burger King that wouldn't. Someone in chat is going to pass a Burger King and be like, you know what? Fuck it. And they're going to go in, dude. This shit worked. That shit just worked. Someone's buying it. Someone might even order it right fucking now. They want a little Whopper. The thing is, food ads are just not that hard, bro. You just show the food. It looks kind of tasty. You're like, fuck it, I'm hungry. If you're hungry when you see a food ad, it doesn't take much. Our brains are simple. Okay. But, hey, let's get over it. Let's get on with it. I'm trying to chill out and watch some Shark Tank, brother. We just did a nice little... I think that was the perfect length wins and fails. I was so happy with that. I had more stuff, and I literally didn't include it. Because sometimes I go fucking way long on wins and fails, and then we can't make a video out of it because it's like 37 minutes. And I was like, I think I nailed it on that one. I want to do them all like that. Wear a tank top. You know what? I might actually. It's fucking hot in here. I'm going to go switch to a tank top. I don't know why you said that. I don't know how the fuck you knew that I needed to do that. That was weird. But I'm going to get a tank top. I'll be back in a second, and then we're going to watch Shark Tank. Wait. I'm also hungry. I'm also kind of hungry. And I kind of want to order like Popeyes or something. Maybe BK. Maybe BK, bro. Maybe a little Burger King. BK, have it your way. Oh yeah, look at this. Damn, a little BK chicken nugs for the boy? Nothing wrong with that. BK, have it your way. I'll give it a shot. What the hell could go wrong, you know? The only thing is, yeah, what actually is good at BK? Because I'm actually not really. It's funny because the ad was all right for me, but then I see the actual pictures of the food and I'm not super stoked. Their nuggets have bone in them. All right, bro. All right, bro. They should lean into that. Burger King nuggets now with real bone. Don't back out on us now. I'm going to try it. I'm going to fucking food review this shit. There's a Burger King pretty close to me, so it's actually the fastest delivery. I've always avoided it, which is, I guess, a sign of their problem. Because when I sort by fastest delivery, Burger King is by far the closest, actually. And I've always just picked the next one, which is Popeyes. But now I'm going to give it one shot. They get one shot from me. Anyway, 1 second. Let me switch to tank top. it your way. Ladies and gentlemen, let's watch some Shark Tank, huh? Where do we leave off? Where did we leave off? Season 11, I think. Correct. Shark Tank season 11. We watched the knife sharpening one. That's what it was. Knife sharpening by mail. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what the best next episode is. Yeah, the golden ticket. It's going to be hard to top. God, the golden ticket episode was fucking funny. All right, I got one from, wow, literally May of 2020. Wait, when did the pandemic start? March 2020. April 20. Yeah, I think it was April. It was April 2020, right? I feel like April was the day. April 2020 was the time NVIDIA was like, hey. NVIDIA was like, hey, you guys should work from home for a week or two while we figure out this pandemic thing. And then I never went to the office ever again. That turned out to be my last day in the office. Anyway, we are going to watch this one from May 2020. So let me pull it up. BK, have it your way.
Wait.
Let's go.
Burger King enjoyers should burn. Well, I'm going to find out right now. I'm giving it. I haven't tried Burger King in literally years and years and years and years. I don't know. 8 years maybe? I can't think of the last time I had Burger King. 2013? I can remember having Burger King because it was in the middle of San Francisco. There was a Burger King that I ate at in the morning when I was waiting for my interview at Twitch. I distinctly remember eating at a Burger King because it was right around the corner. And then I can't remember eating ever since there. Anyway, Shark Tank. We are on March 2020, season 11, episode 24. Changing title.